Hola, 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 beloved soul. Happy that you're here with me. Happy that I get to be here with you. I go by many names. On this channel, I end up going by Soul, and this channel is called Soul of Light and Shadow. And just in case you don't already know me, and my channel is really about sharing collective messages that I receive with the intention of dignifying, elevating, stimulating, uplifting, and expanding whoever it is that ends up receiving this message, accepts this message, and resonates with the message. Okay. So I ended up channeling some things. I believe these were all from yesterday. So take it how it resonates. Some of it might have already happened, some of it might be happening right now, it might be happening very soon because time is pretty much relative and human made. So here's what I've got so far. The first message I ended up receiving was, we've been trying to tell you to be like the Green Lantern. Now, if you don't already know what the Green Lantern is essentially a Marvel character that has this ring, and they are able to imagine whatever it is that they want to imagine, and it ends up being realized with the ring in physical form. So it sounds like Spirit has been trying to encourage you to think of your imagination, think of your mental powers like that, of being like you have this source of energy that needs you to channel and focus on what it is that you're wanting in order for the thing to actually be realized. And there is technically no limit. It's literally whatever it is that you can imagine, as long as you stay focused long enough to see it in form. Okay, so there's that one. Another one is, be as bad as you want to be. Now that can go in a couple of different ways. When I decided to, because I originally had it in my phone and I wanted to have like physical paper to like read it off, the first association, the first thing I thought about was eating cake. And so it really gives me the impression of like, be as bad as you want to be, as in like, you don't necessarily have to follow all of the status quo in the rules. Like, for example, if you so happen to be on a diet and you're like wanting, thank you for the confirmation, and you're wanting to do like a cheat day, of like, oh, I'm being bad, I'm doing like a cheat day and I'm eating this thing that I'm not supposed to be eating. And it's like, girl, sir, be as bad as you want to be, because in all reality, it's not really the diet that is helping you to create the weight or lose the weight. It's more of your mental attitude, your mental disposition about weight, and whether or not you are capable of losing or gaining the weight. For example, if you want to use me as an example, for the longest time, just like even a couple years back, let's just say like 3 years, because time and I are loose friends, because I think it's 3 years. And before those 3 years, I could not get past 105. um and there was a time where depression, the thoughts of depression were so strong that eating just wasn't a thing that I wanted to do. And so, like, I even went down as to 90 pounds. And eventually, I came across the realization of just like accepting where I was right then and there, and loving my body, because my body was working so hard to make sure that I stayed upright, that I stayed healthy, that I stayed functional. And when I started doing that, I just actually started to gain the weight. The original goal was like 120. And now I weigh between 130 and like 137, usually between 133 and 137. Like I stay within that range now, so like I'm in a weight space that I am very happy with my body. I even ended up seeing like a little pudge on my body, and I was like, look at the little pudge. So like, loving on your body, accepting your body as it is right now, and knowing that whatever you consider to be healthy as like a feeling is what you really want to get into, so that your body will align with that and get to the weight that you're wanting to get. Because if you so happen to have the goal, that's all right to have the goal. Okay. If you feel like that goal, that particular end game makes you feel healthy, then that is all right. That gives you something to look forward to. It's really about accepting yourself and loving yourself to the point where it's like, you know what? This is the weight that I am right now. Um, and that's all right. I know that I'm going to get there eventually. I'm just going to pour love into my body. I'm going to talk to my body, tell it how much I love it. You know, tell it thank you so much for doing all the things that I usually take for granted. And you will end up seeing the change. You know, I didn't even do affirmations when it comes to my body weight. I just wanted to love myself a little bit more and stop feeling so fucking stressed. And so that's why I am now where I am, you know? So there's that. So, girl, sis, sir, the cake is not the problem. The cake. Enjoy the cake. Enjoy the cake. Feel it in your tongue, feel the flavor, just enjoy this flavor. And if you want to do affirmations, or if you want to like think of something, think of how this food is nourishing the cells in your body, and you're absorbing all of the nutrients and all of the minerals nice and easy, you know, nice and easy, because we don't got to be stressing about it. All right. So if that is something that you want to do, that is a suggestion. You don't got to listen to me. If you want to, wonderful. If you don't, that's all right. Peace, joy, love, and success be with you anyway. Next one is that one was a little weird, because like I ended up seeing like this worm, and I ended up somehow asking if it was like an invasive creature, and the answer was yes. So it's like something that isn't really native, it's not really supposed to be there. And then I end up seeing it transform into like this furry looking winged creature. You know, it's like either a moth or butterfly or whatever, but it definitely can fly, and it was like furry, hairy. And then I ended up receiving the message, tomorrow it's gonna die. So I'm like, oh, okay. Not too, I admit I'm not too sure what exactly that means. If that resonates with you, wonderful. If you don't, just leave it there, I suppose. So there's that. The next one is, that one, it seems like a question, and the question is, do you want to talk about you? Take that how it resonates. Some people like to talk about themselves. I feel like it's more for the people that really don't like to talk about themselves. That's kind of what it's giving me. But really take that how it resonates, and what part of you is it really referring to as well. You know, it could be talking about the parts of you where it's like the skeletons. It could be talking about the parts of you of like you're currently on the path to creating this thing and creating that thing, and talking about it, about what you want, talking about it and thinking about it and sharing it does give it more power, because ultimately the power comes from you. So the more you want to talk about you being in the place that you want to be, will definitely give it that power. So the question is, do you want to talk about you? You might be a motivational speaker, or wanting to be a motivational speaker, because you have a testimony that you feel that will be very, very helpful to inspiring and dignifying and elevating others. So the question is, do you want to talk about you? You're going to have to talk about you. You're going to have to like allow yourself to be vulnerable and open. So do you want to do that? And being honest with yourself is honestly very helpful, you know, in that regard. Because if you don't want to, then you're going to get in your own way, you know, when it comes to those kinds of things of like interacting and connecting with others in a way where it does to an extent require you to be vulnerable, and being like showing the parts of you that you feel like you don't really want to talk about because it's behind you now. And I totally understand that, because I be doing the same thing. I also be answering questions If someone ends up asking, oh, tell me your story. I've had a person do that. Tell me your story. I would tell them, a bit about my story, and turns out it ended up being very helpful to someone else that was nearby, and it made them feel less alone. So it might be that sense of like, do you really want to talk about you? What does that entail for you? What does that mean to you? What do you define that as? Okay? So just sitting down, asking yourself those questions, and sitting with you. Don't worry about what your mama opinion is. Don't worry about what your dog's opinion is, or the neighbor across the street. Really just like sitting with you and being like, okay, what does this mean for me? Okay? Next one is, quote, I'm not doing nothing. Uh, so that it's a double negative. Like when it comes to sentences like that, my brain is like, okay, I'm not doing nothing. Does that mean like I'm not doing anything? Like I'm just like chilling, bro. Like if you were like wondering what a person is doing, if they're doing something weird, they're like, the answer would be like they're really just chilling. They're doing their thing. They're doing what they said that they were doing. Or it could be a sense of like, I'm not doing nothing. So it could be also that sense of like, even if you're sitting down, pondering on a situation, pondering on a solution to a situation, or like you're sitting down watching TV, or you're like playing the game and da 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 da, and you feel like you're doing nothing, or like if you're just laying in bed, you're not exactly asleep, but you're not getting up and doing something either. It could be a sense of like you're not doing nothing. Okay? Like, yeah, it may look like nothing from the bystander, from the person on the outside looking in, but that doesn't mean you're not doing nothing. Like for example, like when I be playing my game, I be playing Stardew Valley, and I be doing affirmations, like if I'm laying down, or like I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning every single day. It doesn't matter whether or not it may, except for Sundays. And before I have to go anywhere, I don't have to go to work for another 2 hours. So I get up 2 hours earlier, and sometimes I just lay in the bed, in the couch, and just do my affirmations, allowing the messages to come to me however it goes. Some of the messages I'll remember, some of them I won't, and like they'll just go back off into the ether, so on and so forth. So it's like, you're not doing nothing by just laying there. You're not doing nothing by watching TV, especially if you know that you're thinking and you're watching the TV, but you know that you're thinking about something else. You're not really doing nothing. Okay? So, or if it feels like you feel like you've progressed as much as you could, and you're just kind of wondering what next, or like you're in like a waiting space of like, I can't do anything. I have to wait on other people, or like I have to wait on God or my spirit guides or my ancestors to like finish off a thing. You're not doing nothing. You're in a incubation, gestation type of space. Okay? Your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, especially if you ask them like, "Hey, can you help me out with the things that I can't really do right then and there, or like I'm not thinking about, but that they are also components to the whole of the goal that you're trying to like have me be aligned with, or me have me be aligned with." And even your own gestalt, because you are a soul, and like that part of you, there are parts of you that is at the top of the mountain, that is already at the finish line, and knows exactly the easiest and most joyful way to get to the thing that you're trying to get to. 1414 on the timer. Okay? So they are doing stuff too. Your gestalt is also doing stuff too. So you're not doing nothing. Okay? I feel like that's more of like what that message is, because I had more to say about it. That's how it is. And then I ended up yesterday channeling a song, Sexy Love by Ne-Yo. And I know it was a channel message because I haven't been listening to Ne-Yo in I don't even know how long. but I instantly knew like what this song was. I'm like, I know this song, Sexy Love. So someone could be saying that like they are missing your body, they miss being touched by you, they miss the 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 physical affection, the love language of physical affection from you, or you might be missing it while thinking about another person. Okay. So there's that. It's definitely someone that you've already been intimate with, because that song is talking about sexual intimacy. Next one, last one is, why do you care about others' table? All right. So I feel like, in so many words, mind your gosh darn business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your table. What do you got on your table? How the legs looking on that table? How the chairs looking on that table? Mind your gosh darn table, because you get what you thinking about. Okay, what you focus on is what's going to create, and how you think about it, how you feel about it is also what's going to create. So if you're neglecting your table, don't be surprised if your life, if your blessings, if your miracles, they're just scarce and they ain't there because you're not putting no attention into it. Okay, you gotta water the seeds. You put it in the proper soil. You gotta put it in a place where it likes the sunshine, however much sunshine that it needs. If you doing carpenter stuff and creating something, mind your table. That way you don't cut your finger off. Okay, because we like our fingers, we want them, we want to keep them. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So that looks to be what I got, y'all. If it resonates, feel free to take that with you into your day, apply it into your life, because that is how we really get things done, by applying it. Your best teacher would be experience. I can talk to you all day. But if you don't apply it, then there's only so far that that's going to go. Okay? If you feel like it doesn't resonate with you, keep it pushing. I love you. Thank you for staying this long, because we're at 17 minutes now. If you feel like it doesn't resonate with you but somebody else, feel free to share it with them. Let them know, hey, this particular piece of this video I feel like really resonates with you. It reminded me of you. So take a look at it. If you want to look at the whole thing, totally fine. So there's that. So I'm gonna go, but before I go, I'm gonna let you know that you are free. You were born free. Your mental is the most powerful thing that you have, and so you can bring freedom to you in that way at any time, at any moment, even right now. Okay, you're more powerful than what you give yourself credit for. Yes, you do create your reality. Okay, through your thoughts, beliefs, expectations, assumptions, and your feelings about all of the above. Okay, you are the essence of love. The universe, basic reality, is of joy and of love and of expansion. And you are an extension of that. So you are love and joy and expansion. Okay? Okay? Okay. I feel like I had to pause and just like sit with that. Sit with that. All of your imperfections, as well as all of the imperfections of every being everywhere, they're already redeemed in the greater scheme of the universe in which we all have our being. Okay. You are an excellent person, an excellent creature, an excellent spark of divinity, a valuable part of the universe in which you reside in. Okay. It is good, safe, and natural for you to grow, develop, and use your abilities, because in doing so, you are expanding and enhancing and expressing the energy of the universe itself, and allowing it to express through you, enhance you, and expand you as well. Okay? And your existence is assured. You are eternal. Your existence is going to be, your consciousness is going to be, whether or not it is physically expressed. And that goes for any and all of your loved ones, whether or not they are being physically expressed or not, they are still being, they are still living. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'll catch you on the flip side. I love you. Ciao.